Here the coach is holding a pixel angle. This angle is known for being good. That's why I get this chamber out of this angle and continue to hold it. Crouching on these angles makes it even better so that if you get pre-fired, it doesn't hurt. The trip is watching B in main. If they smoke the trip, I can hear it being smoked, so I continue holding the angle. There we go, we got the kill. We juggle while we're reloading to see if they're gonna push in. We can see that they are, matter of fact, gonna push in, so we back off and make the threat that we could be backside. And then we choose another pixel angle. It's not a pixel angle, it's more like a tight angle, so we continue to hold another one. We flash, but unfortunately the flash was way too obvious, so we get punished. Still up though. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Happy and I'm an immortal high-level coach. In these series, I help you improve your game sense and talk about how to get an advantage on every single fight that you take. If you're tired of being stuck in the same rank, I strongly suggest joining the premium tier of my group, which will be linked down in the description. Inside, I talk about the purpose of every single role, how to learn a new skill, and most importantly, how to play your character. So if you're someone who's serious about improving in Valorant, I suggest you join. Let's get to the video. Random tip on Haven: when retaking B side, you always want to make sure that no one's hiding in the back before moving on to front side. This helps you avoid all of the dangerous crossfires and move on to side easier. Also, whenever it's a 2v1 and you know exactly where the enemy is, and we do because he taps the spike, try to wait for your enemy for as long as possible, and good things will happen. I always like to say, whenever you know where the enemy is, util dump his ass with mollies and stuns to guarantee his death. This way, even if he starts hitting some random nasty shots, he doesn't win the round. Well, good thing I popped the molly there. It's a 2v2 situation and we know that very likely it's going to be B because they spotted us on A. We're clearing mid and we see that Chamber is in short. Because his teammate is planting, he's likely going to be rotating from mid. We reload the gun and we see that we only have 25 bullets left, so we break the door with the shorty. Pop the flash, see if he's playing any anti-flashes, and finally we hear him on site, so we are good to make our way on the site. I made some fake steps to bait him out into lane, but because he's not pushing lane, and he reveals that he's backside, it's so much easier for me to clutch this. Thank you, Phoenix. Bro, flops when I'm still in middle, bro. He's trolling. He trolled so hard. Because our teammates are not headless chickens, and as you can see, both of them, all three of them actually, all the duelists are entering, we are okay to pick an operator as a SOA player. Because once we get to post plants, that's where we can work. We hold CT for a little bit until there was a threat that we could get pushed from behind. On the minimap we see that Jet is holding CT, market is closed, which leaves us with B main. So we use our operator knowledge to our advantage. The operator masterclass is going to be included in my 2.0 courses, which are going to be coming out in just 12 days. That's right, how to play the operator like that. You might be, what the hell are you doing? Why are you not just holding? Yes? That is a great point. That is a great point. I got the kill down. Here's why knowing how to play your character is super important. I know one lineup as a Sova on B side. I crouch, I use it, and most of the times it just works like that. Everyone's scanned. Oh, the dart is disgusting. You know, one of the most important callouts in my opinion in Valorant is they're out. As soon as they push through the choke point, you let your teammates know that they have in fact started to execute, which would allow me to help this shit on site. Instead of hearing the call out, now I have to look at the minimap to see when is it going to happen. 65 Sage, man. Like this chat, instead of acting helpless, could just receive his help from me anytime if he just said the two words. However, it wouldn't make you a Jet player if you were all of a sudden asking for help, because everybody knows that Jets are unbeatable. They're 10s in disguise. Getting the aces and never requiring any help carrying the team, that's one of the fundamental playstyles of the Jet. I changed my position because You would expect my flash from side, so I flashed from elbow. This is enough to make enemies unexpected. I also flashed here because there was a timing he could have went side while the fight was happening. And instead of rotating, the enemies decided to fall into the trap of the Happy. Why is bro not going B though? We're gonna talk about how he's not going B. Anyways, back to the jet problem. If you don't want to be hard stuck jet like these guys, you're gonna need some game sense. Go in jet. And baiting these psychopathic jets who are tilted is definitely a good idea when a lot of chaos is happening. Now, it's a 2v1 situation. We don't know where the enemy is. The spike is in water. They know that, which means that Sky could be pushing from any angle. There's 4 angles, any angle. So that's why I grew up with my jet, and once again, I bait him, I let him go first, and we finished the round. We're pushing mid. Sage is putting up the wall, and sometimes sages like to peek the wall, and it's most of the time successful, but when you get used to it, you can actually punish them pretty well, especially when there's 5 of you. You know what I mean? A guy was killed B main, that's why we flash in case he pushed on timing, and now that we know that he didn't push on timing, he probably didn't push on timing. We're still equal numbers on attackers, so looking for 1v1s is definitely not a bad thing. We want to make sure that we take space slowly but surely, right? You want to make sure that you're not taking disadvantageous 1v1s. At least have your teammates with you. And I have my teammates with me going in mid, that's why I peeked this. Very nice. Once again, we need some healing, and we are aware of the guy Reyna, which could very possibly have pushed up in B main. My psychopath teammate goes up, so now it's the timing for us to go out as well. We only have information about one guy in main, but he is low HP, so that's why we aim at the body. Notice how I'm not aiming at the head, guys? I'm aiming at his body. Genius. I see that Reyna isn't gonna peek, so I have to re-clear any other pushes, and we see both of them in heaven. So now with our ult we can wait in case he drops, and as soon as we hear that he drops, we peek. And we get a free fight here. Top 1.8 thousand colo, by the way. TTV, by the way. Anyways, new lesson. You need some type of initiative ability that tells us that they're pushing out. And Neon with his wall and footsteps definitely means that. That's why we drop the molly as soon as we hear them push out. Now, if we slow down this frame, we can see that Chamber is in fact not blinded, so you might be like, well, Happy, are you dumb? What are those flashes? Why would you go for a reverse flash here? And here's my answer. This Chamber is sitting in a very vulnerable position, and the only reason he didn't get hit by my flash is because he is currently getting hit by every single possible angle on a site. Plus, 2 of my teammates are rotating in from middle. So in conclusion, no, my flash isn't dumb. But yeah, probably a normal flash would have done the job too. We're just having some fun in middle, well, all of a sudden, it's a push. But not only it's an A push, it's an A split. So now we somehow have to survive all of this util with our ultimate, and then we have to push in, because like now we have our ultimate, we have to push in, so we push in. And look at that genius play. And we pick up another round for our teammates. I don't know, man. I just work here. As you can see, we probably have a very strong read that it's going to be B, because we are B, and I have a super well-timed molly flash wall combo. We're perfectly setting ourselves up for a nice little 2k coming from a flank position, but they're not on site, so we have to keep going.
One enemy remaining.
No! Thank you everyone for watching. Comment down your favorite clip and I'm gonna respond to every single comment. Also, if you're serious about improving in Valorant, you wanna get even better game sense, join the premium tier of my group, link in the description. See you guys tomorrow.